Hello and welcome. My name is Mike, and in today's video, I'll be going over how I solved the Blue Team Labs Challenge Employee of the Year. Let's get started. So, for this challenge, the scenario given is that John received the Best Employee of the Year award for his hard work at Fake Company Ltd. Unfortunately, today, John deleted some important files. Typical John. It's your job, or our job for that matter, to recover the deleted files and capture all the flags contained within. Now, for this submission, there are 6 different questions that need to be answered for it to be considered complete. The first of which is, what is the text written on the recovered GIF image? Number 2, submit flag 1. Number 3, submit flag 2. Number 4, submit flag 3. Number 5, what is the file system of the provided disk image? And number 6, what is the original file name of the recovered MP4 file? As you can see here, I've previously submitted the questions, but this video will be actually going over how I got to that answer to submit it in the first place. Some additional information that Blue Team Labs provides is that they're recommending one of 2 different tools to use, either Scalpel or PhotoRec. In this case, for this challenge, I actually used the tool PhotoRec. And what PhotoRec is, it's an open source software that allows you to recover lost files from different sources, right? Whether they're from a digital camera memory, a hard disk, a CD-ROM, it can recover those files and different types of files. And I think they have the capability to recover 400, more than 400 different types of file extensions here. The other piece of information that BTLO provides is they provide a zip file called employee files with a password of BTLO, the ability to download it here. Now, it's important to note that I will be utilizing my Kali Linux machine, which is running on a virtual box, and I have taken the liberty of already downloading the PhotoRec tool as well as the related material for this challenge here. So with everything downloaded, I can now begin the process of trying to answer these questions here. So first things first, I want to open up the file, BTLO file, carving, and it looks like we have 2 different items within it. We have a BTLO text and we have a recover files.dd. Now, regarding this text file, it's actually has nothing to do or is nothing related to actually completing or submitting the challenge. It's more of a legal housekeeping note from BTLO, so we can, for our purposes, we can just ignore this since it has no real impact on actually answering the questions here. The other item found in this actual folder is a recover files.dd. Now, what is actually a DD? A DD file is a disk image file or replica of a hard disk drive. And basically, any files that are having that extension of .dd are usually created with an imaging tool called DD here. So in this case, it's actually what John actually deleted and we're trying to now recover from here. So with with this in mind, we can actually begin the process of solving it. And what I want to do is I want to actually run the strings command. And what the strings command on a Linux system does is actually, binary or data files, they typically or might have some text within it. And what the strings command allows us to do is we're able to, pull out those bits of text, which are called strings, and we typically can use them for any hints or information that might come down the line that might be helpful for our actual analysis or recovery here. It's important to note that when you're doing some type of maybe malware analysis, that string information or that data can be manipulated. So you have to be a little bit careful. But for our case, we're actually doing a pure digital forensics, something that was deleted by an employee. So I'm pretty confident in trusting the information that was provided by the command here. Also important to note, typically when you're doing digital forensics, you would make a copy of the recover files. But since this is a lab, I'm gonna bypass that standard practice and actually just operate directly on this file here. So I'm gonna exit that out here. I'm gonna open up my terminal. Let me actually zoom in just to make sure. Oh, let's okay. Let's try it here. So what I want to do is I want to navigate to desktop. Here, navigate to the desktop into that file or folder. We'll do ls, and we can see here we actually are now within that folder here. Now I want to run the strings command, so I'm going to write strings recover files.dd. and it's going to pull out that information for us here. Typically with the strings command, anything that's purely human readable is going to be found up top. So I'm going to scroll through, scroll, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Here's some Word document, but there's something a little bit better here, all the way up top. There we go. So immediately what jumped out to me was this section right here. It looks like we have a GIF, we have a MP4 video called SBT certifications, we have a flag 3 PDF, we have a flag 2 doc, we have a flag 1 PNG, and so forth. So it looks like now at least I have some information about where the flags are going to be located, which is which. So, to answer that question, for example, flag 1, I know I should be looking for probably a PNG here. So what's next? One more sort of data or information gathering is I actually want to actually understand what is what type of file system is provided, of this provided disk image, and actually would be our answer to one of the questions. What is the file system of the provided disk image here? So what I want to do is actually going to use the party utility to actually uncover that information here. So I'm going to scroll down. Actually, let me clear it. So what I can do is I could do sudo parted recover files.dd. It's going to ask me for my password. Do it. What I want to type in now is I actually want to type in print list, and it automatically found our disk image, this recovered files, its size, and the disk flags. The answer to one of our questions is actually going to be under this file system here. So now we know that this, the file system of this recovered image is actually going to be ext4. And this was how I found out the answer to one of the questions. What is the file system of the provided disk image? It is ext4 here. So there we go. We have one complete. We're going to clear it. Now that we have the file system, where it's located, we actually have to use our tool, in this case photorec, to actually recover those deleted files here. So I'm going to use the command photorec recover files.dd. It's going to open up these command lines. We're going to do this, select the media that we want to recover. This disk is already automatically identified. It's going to be recover files.dd. So we're going to hit enter. I want to do the whole disk. We're going to do the ext2/ext4. Now, where do we want this to be located here? Let's actually do it to desktop. I want to see if it's here, and it's complete. So it's a very small disk image. So photorec already did it. And based on information, there was 5 files recovered, and they are now going to be saved in our desktop recovery, and our recovery is complete. So we actually have recovered the deleted files here. So I'm going to hit quit. I'm going to hit quit, clear this. Now let's take a look at what actually was recovered here. So as you can see here, now we have a new folder, this recup directory one. I'm going to open it. And now we actually have those files that were provided in the string. Now we actually have those files. So we have this GIF, we have this PDF, we have this doc, we have this MP4, we have this PNG, and we have this report.xml1 here. Now, going back to that strings command, let me just run it again very quickly, since it will. Sorry. Going back to this recover strings, I can actually use that information to see which flags belong where. And just to recap, starting off, flag 1 is going to be a PNG, flag 2 is doc, and flag is going to be a PDF here. So, but before that, let's take a look at the questions. What is the text written on the recovered GIF image here? So we have this GIF. I'm going to open it up. And it looks like the text is actually going to be good job, defender. So it's pretty simple. It's not hidden. It's the question is flat out asking what is the text written on this image or on this GIF. So the answer to number 1, what is the text written on the recovered GIF image, is going to be good job, defender, defender 1 here. Exit it out here. So again, going back to question number 2, submit flag 1. We know that the flag 1 is going to be a PNG here. So it looks like there is actually just one PNG file that was recovered. I'm actually going to hit open. And we see that the actual flag is going to be flag 1, semicolon, we love BTLO here. So there we go. We have the answer to number 2, submit flag 1, we love BTLO here. There we go. That was pretty easy. That was pretty quick. Now, flag 2 is going to be a doc. So now let's open up the doc here. It's going to open. And it looks like it looks like there's nothing else. It's only one page. And it looks like this page or this document just has this one, what I think appears to be a code of string. So I think that based when I was analyzing this, it looks like this was something that we need to decode or translate from, which leads me to actually utilizing another tool that we don't have to download, but we actually can utilize if we just have an internet connection. We're going to copy this though, and we're going to be utilizing the tool Chef to actually decrypt this item here. And right off the bat, this looks like it's like a base 64 format. So what I'm going to do is in this input tab, I'm going to paste this output. And what I want to do is from the operations, I want to utilize from the base 64 recipe here. And it should automatically, decode this base 64 and reveal that the actual code stands for flag 2, a solid defender. So this actually answers our question. Submit flag 2, a solid defender here. Okay. So we can close that out. Opening up again, and now flag 3 is going to be a PDF here. So what I want to do is I want to open up this PDF. Let's maximize it. And it looks like it's just one page with the title, Nice Work, Find Flag 3 here. So I did try. I entered this in, and it wasn't the correct answer, so we know that this isn't the flags. And since it's one page, and we know that based on the strings information that the flag is going to be somewhere found on this document. Now, typically in that case, what I do want to look up or kind of examine is the actual metadata of this document here. And it's pretty simple. What we can actually do, open up a new tab. Let me just zoom in. What I can do is I can navigate to desktop, navigate to what I can do from the command line is actually I could use the tool exif tool, and now enter in that file to get actually the metadata and see if there's actually any helpful information or the flag itself that I can extract here from. So in this case, it's going to be F0011088.pdf, and it's going to provide that metadata here. Now it gives me this file name, which we know, the file size, access date, time, permissions, type, PDF version. There we go. So this immediately stood out to me. This author, which is basically already half in the format that we need, but it's suggesting that it's a flag 3, and it looks like it's a web URL format that we need to decode here. But I think that this is actual flag, and we just need to do what we did for number 2, is actually decode it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this. Oh. And going back to CyberChef, we're going to clear this. We're going to clear this. We're going to paste that. And what I want to do is I want to do URL code decode. CyberChef actually gives a good explanation. It converts the URI's URL percent encoded characters back into their raw values. This is the reason why I said off the bat it looks like it's a URL code, because we see that there are a number of percent signs within it. So let's try it out. Let's see if URL decode is able to decode this here. And it actually does. So it looks like the flag is actually going to be flag 3 at blue star or blue team soldier. Sorry, the threes. Well, blue team blue team. And what I want to do is, if we were to submit that flag, it would actually be the correct answer for this third flag here. Now, number 4, what is the file system provided this image? This is what we answered a little bit earlier based off of that data gathering information segment, so we'll skip that. And the final question, what is the original file name of the recovered MP4 file? So the MP4 file, what the current name is, it's actually F0018432.mp3. I'm actually going to, let's take a look at what it is to see if there's any information here. So it looks like it's just a video of the different blue team level certifications and their logos here, so nothing too helpful. But looking back, we already got the answer for this question when we ran the strings command here, where we were able to actually see the original file name of this document that was extracted here. So what I want to do, I have it saved here? Oh, we don't have it saved. Okay, no problem. So what we want to do is we want to, let's navigate back to here. Let's clear it. Let's navigate and let's do strings recover files.dd to get the information. And if I remember correctly, there was a MP4 name that was extracted, and that's most likely going to be the original name of the file. So we just got to go back here. And it looks like the original file, SBT certifications, that MP4 was the original file. It does make sense because the actual video itself is just simply going through the different logos of the different certifications that Blue Team offers. So this is the actual original file name before it was recovered by us here. So all you got to do is just copy and paste it and submit it. And that is our answer to the last and the final question. What was the original file name of the recovered MP4 file here? And with that, we actually were able to complete the Employee of the Year challenge. Pretty easy, pretty simple challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I had a lot of fun completing it and making it. But give it a try. Um, Maybe if you want to try using a different tool like Scapple, it's pretty much the same process. I highly encourage you to try that. I'll be doing it myself to get more experience with the Scapple tool. But there you go. This is my sort of walkthrough of how I answered the Employee of the Year challenge from Blue Team Labs Online. Until next time, thanks everyone.